in Italian for a while. Luca is a good friend, so this is our warming up. In 1 minute we start our talk, and I like to welcome this gentleman. And when we use gentleman in English about Luca, this is absolutely an appropriate word. You are really a gentleman. I can tell you.
Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Too kind as usual.
Absolutely true. Giuseppe, ciao, ben arrivato. We have Giuseppe Oltolini, the big CEO of Dior, connected with us. My good friend Kinsley, well, a great entrepreneur, good friends. I see a lot of friends arriving. Francesco Putti, my assistant, welcome also to him. I'm not able to click of all the people, but so let's go. Welcome back to the Passione Engadina community meeting on somebody called them webinar. This is my Caracciola love. And today is a special day to me because I had so very good people, and I would like not to be misunderstood if I say this word, but I'm so lucky to have met brilliant people in my life that teach me a lot. Ciao Marco Paroni. And Luca Borgogno is one of these. Why?
Sono le ore 17.
It's 5 o'clock.
Okay.
He's absolutely the chief designer of Automobili Pininfarina, before in Pininfarina. For everybody in the world who loves cars, Pininfarina is an icon. Celebrating 19 years this year. And when I met Luca, I was impressed from the first time, this was some years ago already, for the passion, for an approach to his job, absolutely human, simple, but on the other side, incredibly committed. So now you're on board the Automobili Pininfarina. Welcome to Luca Borgogno. Thank you to be here with us today. Thank you, Luca.
Thank you very much. You're too kind as usual. Absolutely. Very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I always tell what I feel in my heart. So Luca, first of all, was your dream to work for Pininfarina?
Absolutely, yes. I don't even remember when it first started. It was my dream to be a car designer first. I started sketching cars when I was 3. My mom always used to say that it was a clear dream from the very beginning. But I had really a precise moment when I wanted to become a designer for Pininfarina, and it was when I actually saw for the first time the Ferrari Mythos in the metal live, and that for me was a very crazy moment. And from that moment on, a little bit of a Stendhal syndrome I had at the time in front of that car. So it was really the moment in which I decided, no, I need to do that. And Pininfarina, for a lot of reasons, because in my opinion is probably one of the best car design companies in the world, and it's from very close to my house, and I feel a lot of pride for it. So that was always my dream, absolutely.
So in which year did you enter the Pininfarina? So how many years are you there?
In the end of 2004, first I started as a consultant. I was working already as a designer from 1998, but there's a little bit of a strange story. They called me in 1998 for an interview, but I said no. I thought that I would have had time to go to Pininfarina later, so I did some other experience, and then I decided in 2004 to try this luck, and it was good. So yeah, that's the moment in which I started. So it's like 16 years now that I am linked with a little bit of other jobs in between, but it's 16 years that I'm linked with the company.
Let's say a second point of the story, please, together, and tell me if I say something wrong, and please make all the corrections about my words. You have no That's my idea. I had the honor, the pleasure to be good friends of Paolo Pininfarina. The company Pininfarina was on very tough times when all the production of the cars was stopped. Then, as many of us know, Andrea died in a very stupid accident, losing, and Paolo was obliged to enter into the company. So the company was not in an easy period. And don't worry, it's a noise, don't worry. And we will never have believed that an Indian gentleman, and when you talk about Mr. Mahindra, it's very strange sometimes, or maybe the people doesn't believe it, but he's a real gentleman, he's a visionary, he's a real entrepreneur, enter into Pininfarina, saving the Pininfarina design part and inventing these new sides that we will talk later Automobili Pininfarina. How did you leave this passage, this moment?
For me, it was a little bit of a relief because, of course, knowing all the problem that Pininfarina went through, having to know that, coming to know that there was a new solidity in the background of Pininfarina, it was a very strong thing. And so I always believed in this relationship with Mahindra. But then I have to be honest with you, the moment in which I was really shocked is the first time that I met Anand himself. I had the pleasure to do a presentation directly with him of about it was supposed to last 1 hour. Then he stopped. He called his secretary. No, we need to talk a lot more. So we stayed together for about 4 hours, 4.5. And I was absolutely impressed. I believe in energy of people. Okay, and he was one of the strongest, energetic person that I've ever met. As you said, he's a real gentleman. He never says things that are out of scope, but he's extremely precise, extremely dedicated. And for me, it was unbelievable to see that he has the same passion that I have for this brand. So to me, this was let's say the best moment to say that the choice to do Automobili Pininfarina was right.
We are honored to have Fabrizio Bonamassa Stigliani with us, the chief designer of
Ciao, Fabrizio.
former car designer too, so we are very happy to
have we met many years ago.
Good. So, question number 1. Is it still possible to design real beautiful cars for production, not for one-off or small quantity or special cars? Because then we will talk about these incredible cars you designed with your team, Batista, but we'll talk later. But my feeling is that in the 60s, 70s, 50s, we had the chance to design cars. When I see, sorry to be so clear, a Mercedes class, say A or S, they seem absolutely brother.
Yeah, I would not do this job if I would not believe that we still have the chance to do beautiful cars. Yes, absolutely. I believe it's a little bit more tricky compared to the, I don't know, the 60s or the 70s because of a lot of reasons. It's easy to talk about constraints, to talk about regulations, but actually it's true because they are becoming really stressful for our job, and the compliance with all these regulations sometimes is really closing completely the possibility of freedom that you have. So it's not an excuse, but it's real. It works really like that. And sometimes in this moment, there is a little bit of in my opinion, of a confusion in the design world. So some companies are looking a lot to the brand image while looking a little bit less at the product itself. So what we want to try to do is to design beautiful products that are beautiful on their own, and then they need to be close to their relatives in the family, but for the general feeling that they give, not just copying, copy and pasting details from one car to the other. I don't want to say any bad things about any other design, of course, because every company has its own strategy, has its own things, but this is our way to do things, so, yeah.
Is it true when I say that to design an electric sport car, I wouldn't say easier, but due to the fact that the engine is easier, you have more time and more space for designing it?
I would say no, because it is definitely there are some constraints that are different. So, for example, we have the need of less cooling, but to come out with the shape of the Batista, it was very difficult to find the perfect packaging, the perfect mechanical layout that would have leave us the possibility to do a real shape of a hypercar, because usually all the other ones are always been,
Paolo Pininfarina joined us, so we have to say ciao.
Oh. Very honored. Again.
You can do question if you want.
Yeah. It's, I hope to be able to answer. Yeah, but anyway, yes. the change of the mechanical layout, we still wanted to give the Batista the aesthetic of a hypercar, so the proportion of a hypercar. And this was not that easy because, for example, the position of the battery, the way that the battery are positioned compared to the motors, putting all the other details, like, for example, radiators and all this kind of thing in the right place to get the correct proportion is actually quite a difficult task. So I would say that it's a different thing. There are different constraints. Yeah.
So one day arrived in your life and they told you, Luca, you are the chief designer of the Automobili Pininfarina, and the first car we will produce, the name on our own brand, bring the mythical name of Batista with the signature. What does it mean for a passionate person like you? Because of course you are a designer, you are a professional, but all the time that I spend with you, you are impressing me with the emotion, the positive energy you bring to all the people you met. I never met someone telling me Luca is a broke guy. So you get this job and the name of the car is Batista.
It's, I always compare it to some sports guys. I think it would be like winning a gold medal at the Olympics or something like this. For me, for myself, the satisfaction is something that is difficult to describe, and it's a dream come true. What can you say more? It's the best brand for me with the best possible car. It's something that doesn't happen every day. Absolutely. So yes.
What was the idea around Batista? What your former idea or inspiration of your team? How did you work around this? Because I mean, I just published at 410 a picture of Batista, and I get so many likes because the people say, "Wow!" So, how was the project?
To me, it's tricky because on one side we have a beautiful history in the back of us that is 90 years old, and the cars that Pininfarina has designed in these 90 years are absolute masterpieces, and to be faithful to the story is something that we really wanted. But on the other hand, we wanted to do a product on its own that could be able to stand on its own. So the idea from the very beginning was to find a perfect balance between the beauty and the simplicity of the Pininfarina lines, to come back to the original three-dimensionality and curvature of beautiful cars like, I don't know, the Cisitalia 202, but then put a little bit of spark of this innovation that we always try to put in our product, and that, for example, you can see in our e-art, that is our trademark that will be in each and every single car that Automobili Pininfarina will produce. So it's we try to find the balance. From the beginning, it's always to find the balance. In the end, a Pininfarina product is a perfect balance between those two things, the purity, but with the innovation in the background. So it was easy as a starting point.
So you're telling me that there is like a school, like a heritage, like a legacy that you really smell every day representing Pininfarina?
I would say that when you enter Pininfarina and from the main entrance, and on the right you have the small collection of cars that are there, it's exactly like that. You smell it. You smell it each and every single day. When you see the Lancia Florida 2, there was the personal car of Batista. When you see cars like exactly the Cisitalia, or objects that even are more crazy, for example, like the Synthesy concept car for 2008, you really have to understand what is the background of this company, and you smell it. Yes, this is the answer. You smell it. You live it every single day. So it becomes a part of your heart.
We missed a lot of Geneva 2020 for the COVID.
Yeah.
We could have seen also the new version of the Batista already. And we have the news that Geneva will not happen in 21. It's confirmed. So it seems that more and more these big car shows are coming to an end. So how do you think to launch and to let the people see and feel Batista in the future? The car will be ready when?
The car, it depends. The anniversary concept car is ready there, and is just ready to be shown as soon as possible. The first production car of the Batista will actually come out at the very beginning of 2021. So in the first weeks of 2021, we will deliver the first cars. At the moment, we are testing the cars on the road, and the first real pre-series prototypes are built in the next days. So we are doing, at the moment, all the work that is possible in a kind of a hidden way, because we don't want to waste too much energies in this period of time that with the corona has been a little bit crazy. But definitely in the second part of the year, so starting from September, October, we will join again all the communications, all the customers that want to test the car, all the dealers that actually are needing to have some cars there to show to the customer. So it's going to start again very fast, let's say after September probably.
Tell us some small features, technical features about the car, because then I have a second question about horsepower, acceleration, or speed, or whatever, please.
The car is crazy because 4 motors, each one producing more or less 450 brake horsepower, so for a total of 1900 brake horsepower. The number that scares me the most is the torque, because we are talking about 2,300 Newton meters of torque. That is like compared to a normal car is like 20 times more. So it's like absolutely unbelievable. And so those two numbers, in my opinion, are giving all the sensation. And then acceleration from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 2 seconds. And then from 0 to 300 in 12. 0 to 300 in 12, so it's really crazy.
Put 2 fires on Instagram. Right, it's totally right. Who are, in your opinion, the clients? When you start designing the car and thinking about the car and technical features, whatever, where do you see your clients? I mean, if you can design it a little bit.
It's I would say something that maybe is a bit surprising, but I met a lot of the customers of the Batista, and in my previous experience, I met a lot of these guys that actually can afford these cars. And I would say that we are very similar in the end, because we are sharing the same passion, we are sharing the same way of thinking about cars. It's just, you know, the potential of buying that you have that is a little bit different. But in the end, they are car guys like me. So it's you have the same understanding of your friend which you go out on a motorbike on a Sunday. You talk in the same way. So and usually the contact is very, very quick. So I would say 80% of people are car guys. And then there is a little bit of a niche inside our, let's say, bunch of customers that are people that never actually owned a hypercar, but they found in the Batista the perfect hypercar for them, because they are very related to the environment. Maybe they have technology companies or something like this, and that is the first hypercar that they can really feel attached with for the respect of their environment that the car has. So that was a little bit surprising from our side to find this kind of people. Yeah.
I have to say hello to Jerome D'Ambrosio that sent me a WhatsApp telling us that good. Ciao Jerome, as you know, my hero is also in Formula E, of course. Yeah. So they are absolutely involved in this domain.
Yeah.
Let me get out 1 second from Pininfarina. Let's talk about one thing. You represent Luca as a good guy, but for the job you did, the beauty. We need the beauty in this world, because I think that the beauty is one of the few things that can help us to go through all this tough period that we will have. And when we talk about the beauty, is in a general term, of course. I'm not talking about the beauty of a lady, of course, why not? But my wife is watching to you, so I can do it. But no, and it impressed me. I was looking at the book today of Pininfarina, and I tell you, surprise, during this speech, you will be very surprised of a gift that I'm trying to do to Pininfarina next year. And these 90 years, how could it be possible, in your opinion? You were not there, I was not there, but how can it be possible for 90 years to represent the beauty?
I think that the answer is very simple. I maybe probably Paolo Pininfarina can help me on that, but I really believe that the persons that were leading the company, so starting from Batista, then to Sergio, then to Andrea, then to Paolo, they all have a very, very strong vision on what the beauty is representing for Pininfarina and for the general world of cars. And I strongly believe that those people actually gave an imprinting to everybody that was inside the company, choosing the correct proposals, taking forward the correct ideas, having the brilliantness of seeing from a sketch something that can become something beautiful. And this is something that is not to everybody. You have to be you have to have it inside, or you have to be trained. But I really believe that all the Pininfarina family has this kind of thing inside. They all were grown in beauty, even Batista himself. So it was for this reason that this company was able to take forward 90 years of beautiful design history.
I totally agree with your words. Try to imagine it. As you know, I'm in Switzerland and I work in Switzerland, and we have two of the best lockies in the world signed by Pininfarina, the RE 460 and the ATN. They were designed by Pininfarina. If I think about the Olympic flame, if I think about I don't like the team, of course, but the US Stadium in Turin, okay, Paolo can be perfect, of course. But, I mean, really the beauty was spread away. Okay, I'm very sorry for these 90 years, a little bit blocked by the COVID, but I have a surprise for the 91 years of Pininfarina that we'll say to the end. Tell me, when you wake up in the morning, of course, you told me many times that you are very happy with it. Have you never thought, oh my God, I will not find an idea today?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, absolutely, yes. Yeah, it actually happens a lot of times. And I think everybody has his own way of coming out with ideas. And I believe that for myself, and this is something that I was teaching to my students of design for more than 20 years, you have to find your way of doing things. So you have to know yourself, you have to know your rhythms, you have to know your life, how it works, and try to understand what is the perfect way for you to be creative. For me, for example, the moment in which I am most creative is during the night. So it's like when nobody's there, when everything is dark, and maybe with some good music underneath, and it's a moment in which you really are able to go deep thinking and come out with good ideas. Yeah, so this is my way.
And how was to work at home all these days with the family around? And was easy or problematic?
Actually, it was easier than what I thought.
Okay.
It was interesting. My team was really proactive, really delivering a lot of good things. So I would say that was surprisingly good. Then I enjoyed even the possibility of just having half an hour free and to be able to do something absolutely free, something that you cannot do in the office, like, I don't know, go for a little walk. I'm lucky that I live in the countryside, so I was not in a big town, but for myself, it was a surprisingly good moment. Of course, all the situation is not like that, but working from home, it was good.
For the last 10 minutes, people can write some answers, some questions if you want, and I will do the question to Luca with pleasure. One more question. Where is your headquarters? Where do you work? In Cambiano or more in Germany?
Actually, we have a small design studio that we created that is in the center of Turin, in Crocetta, that is just dedicated to Automobili Pininfarina. And we have, at the moment, more or less 15, 16 people in our design department. And then, of course, we work a lot with both Munich and Cambiano, because Cambiano is the base to build everything that is physical, so concept cars, protos, pre-series, the Batistas will be built there, so it's a very important place for us. And Cambiano as a headquarters, in Munich as an headquarter, we go there quite a lot. So it's a little bit spread around, but yeah.
And the average age of the people around Automobili Pininfarina is a little younger, or?
It's actually quite young. I think it's not more than 30, 35 or something like this. But there's a good mix of talented people with experiences and with a lot of nationalities. We have almost 19 nationalities inside our company. So it's a multicultural thing. We have from India to the United States and everything that is in between. So it's good. Very, very, very challenging as well.
Sergio is asking you if Automobili Pininfarina had some troubles or with delays or commercial troubles due to the COVID.
I have to be honest, on some bits, of course, we had to slow down a little bit because, for example, some of the suppliers that were helping us on the protos had their problem as well on the coronavirus. So some of the activities on the evolution of the prototypes needed to slow down a little bit, but luckily it all recovered very quickly. So we are quite in line with our timings that we had at the beginning. We were able to recover quite a lot. So yeah.
Okay, another person making a lot of compliments to you, of course. The 3 cars you would have designed in your life, you didn't, but the 3 cars you really say, my God, this I should have been taking the pencil and doing it.
Wow, this is a big question. First one is definitely the Lancia Stratos, the original one, because that is a beautiful masterpiece.
Sorry, it's Bertone, but it's okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, but
then the second one, it must have been the Ferrari Modulo from Paolo Martin from Pininfarina from 1968-70. And then I don't know, it's tricky. Probably some Ferraris from the, I don't know, 70s, 80s. I would say the 288 GTO.
Ferrari, Pininfarina, strange situation. And you have not to tell what I'm going to tell. You have not to say yes. Okay? We do like this. Okay.
Okay.
Because many of the cars we are still seeing in Ferrari has lots of support from Pininfarina, but for so many years, Pininfarina and Ferrari were the same name. The long story about the meeting about the Batista dancing in the middle of the road because one didn't want to go to Turin, the other one didn't want to go to Maranello. And I don't want to say bad things or bad words or stupid things, but as car fan, car guy, I do hope that Ferrari and Pininfarina can really go on in this collaboration more and more in the future because let me say, F12 still remain an icon.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. That's a car with the perfect proportion, a lot of simplicity, but with the 2 or 3 sparks of innovation that were really strong, and I love it. The F12 is one of my favorite cars, absolutely.
Pencil, computer, Luca.
Pencil first, and then computer after.
And the new designer, pencil or just computer?
No. I've been, as I said, I've been teaching 20 years, and for me, pencil. I always said to my guys, pencil is you cannot go against the pencil because when you sketch, when you do something, when you come out with ideas, the pencil is the quickest link between your mind and the piece of paper. So to fix an idea is the quickest way. It offers the less constraints. Computers, they always have constraints, like tools in Photoshop or 3D tools that actually don't make you express totally what is your mind. So no way. First, always pencil.
There's a gentleman from Germany say that Lancia 037 is in my heart. We agree. I think we agree.
Yeah, we agree.
Okay, hello. We have some questions for Luca. Morpheus. Yes, one question, please, Morpheus, because we are going to the end. We are always very precise. We don't take people more than 30 minutes. Also because the beauty is not forever. And when you have the chance to be with Luca, it doesn't take too long. But I will make a surprise in the last minutes, probably. I will make a surprise to you, Luca. And once more, when you start designing a car, where do you start from?
The first thing is about getting the idea of the proportion of the object that you want to do. So, and this is pure Pininfarina style, in my opinion, because there's a lot of other people that do it other ways. But for us, proportion is the #1 thing always. So getting the volumes correct. What do we think volume? So where is the position of the cabin compared to the body? How long are the wheelbase compared to the wheels, compared to the overhangs? Those are the belt line height. Those are the basics of car design. If you fail that, the car can have all the crazy features, but it doesn't look good. While on the other hand, if it has perfect proportions, everything else comes much, much easier. So this is the first thing that we do, absolutely, in Pininfarina.
Question to you is that how long does it take from the start of the Batista project, and you told us beginning 21? How long?
We actually started the first sketches in November 2017, but it was a project that at the time was still not completely approved, was still in the making. So we really started working hard, I would say March 2018, more or less, to work deep on the project. So I would say it's a little bit less than 3 years.
And another question quickly, then we go to the end, is what do you think about the tangible innovation on the Batista? If you have to say there is something really different in Batista, this comes from Morpheus Motors.
For me, there's a lot of different things. There's formal innovation. So, for example, the way that the two wings in the back are not visually connected to each other, the way that the spoiler comes completely to a closed section in the rear part of the car, the front DRL that is continuing from left to right. Some of those things are formal innovation that we want to put, and then there are some bits that are there to express our idea of electric car. So for me, again, the e-art is a very, very important feature. It's the first time that there is a tool outside the car that tells you that the car is electric, and so it's this. I think this is a brilliant thing.
How many people do you have in your team, Luca?
16.
16. Do you think that some one of them are watching you now?
I don't know. I hope not.
I would like to make a small dedication to them. You know, I told you several times when we were together, Luca, that I feel you like a great person, and I tell you why now, publicly. Because I met so many people, and I learned that the real good ones are not arrogant at all, are very simple people and smiling people. I never met you angry, of course, sometimes under stress, this is normal, but always positive, open, and lovely person. So I think that really for your team is a great luck to have the chance to learn something from a person like you, because you will see your dream and your route is still very long. You will have more and more achievements in your life. You can be sure about this. And small final gift. Now I tell you my dream. When I invented Passione Engadina 10 years ago, next year will be 10 years, I make this decision to me. Passione Engadina is my hobby, it's not my job. Thanking God, I earn money from something else in my life. So I want to have the beauty of the Italian cars. And 10th years of Passione Engadina, I will do my best to dedicate to Pininfarina cars. In Passione Engadina, we accept only 100 cars. My decision is that if I will be able, I will have 91 Pininfarina different historical cars plus Batista as my personal guest. I will do my best to fulfill these dreams. And why 91? Because you didn't have the total chance to celebrate at your best these 90 years. So we will celebrate it at 91, but 91 different Pininfarina cars at Passione Engadina in 1 year. I'll do my best. And to be sure, not only because I adore Paolo Pininfarina, Giulia, Madame Appendino, Francesco Fiorderisa, I know so many people in your company, but also thanks to you, because you were inspiring me. So I'll try to bring the beauty that comes of you and Pininfarina to somebody else. I'm not sure, but I'll do my best. Thank you. Thank you for the time we spent together.
No, thank you. Thank you. This is an unbelievable thing, because thanks. It's I'm speechless. This dedication. Thank you very much. And I think, of course, we will give you all the help that is needed, and it's going to be absolutely fantastic. Thank you.
You will come to make a speech to my drivers anyway. We want you.
Yes, absolutely.
All the best.
No worries.
Future, all the best wishes for Batista, you design and your team, something really so beauty that you can really be proud. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Everybody, see you next week. We have Stefano Domenicali, sorry, from Lamborghini as my guest. Luca was so nice, just to let people know who he is. When he saw that we have Stefano, he told me, "Oh my God." Grazie.
Yes,
grazie.
I was a bit, yeah. Ok,
Grazie.
thank you very much.
Grande piacere, grazie anche agli amici.
Grazie per me, grazie mille di tutto.
Grazie, a presto.
Ciao, ciao, ciao Paolo, ciao,
Ciao,
everybody.
grazie.